Good morning. My name is Gregg Gehring, and I attended the associate boot camp recently this past year. Um, so I just wanted to tell you my story a little bit. I practice here at Marion Village Dental. The owners are Gregg G and Harvey Vesha. And I was fortunate that they sent me to Atlanta this past year for a couple visits for associate boot camp. It was a good experience, and so I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my story. Hopefully drive a Mercedes here pretty soon. But I went to dental school a little bit late in life. I was about 33 years old when I went, so it was a pretty rough time. I had a wife and two kids at the time I got into dental school. It was pretty tough. My wife's a school teacher, and she pretty much supported us throughout the 4 years, and it was tough. We had, I was at the library a lot, and I was gone a lot, and she did a great job kind of pulling us through. But we got through, and afterwards, I did find a job kind of at a clinic-y type practice. Got thrown into the fire from the beginning. Scary, but it was real busy, and I learned a lot, so that was definitely a fortunate experience for me. But then I got into private practice as an associate here in Columbus, Ohio, and it was a great experience. I wasn't very busy. I started to get frustrated with the practice because I wasn't busy. My salary wasn't what I expected. So I started looking around, and I was fortunate to land here at Marion Village Dental. And I didn't quite know what the expectations, or at least for myself, expectations for myself. I didn't know exactly what the ceiling was as far as seeing patients, as far as productivity, collections, things like that. They talked about sending me to Atlanta to the associate boot camp, and I have to admit I was a little skeptical. Been practicing for a while. Wasn't sure how receptive I was going to be to what was going to be talked about. So when I went down there, and again, this was just like, I think the first time it was a day, 2 days maybe, and the second visit was maybe a day. But I was real excited after I left Atlanta and came back to the practice and to implement some of the things that we're doing here. So what I found was, in the past year, when I started, being in practice for a little bit, I felt pretty comfortable in the transition. But when I started, I was probably averaging about 50,000 in production per month, and that was probably through the first 5 or 6 months. So after I came back from boot camp, I started utilizing some of the things that we talked about. I was really impressed with the 2 economy system. I think for me, just personally, that has made a really big difference in attitude. I don't get bogged down in a lot of the craziness that you see in the world, and it doesn't affect me, and I don't let it in to the bubble, so to speak. But just in general, how I talk to patients, just sitting down with a new patient and talking to them for 4 minutes. I did that before, maybe for 30 seconds to a minute. It felt contrived at times, but I think when I got in the flow of just talking to the patient more, it's amazing how much they'll open up to you and how much rapport that you can build with that. And even things like, after you do the exam and you're about ready to tell the patient or talk to the patient about treatment and coming back in, asking for treatment that day, something I never did before. I would always say, hey, let's get you back in the schedule, something like that. Now it's, hey, let's take care of this right now. And it's amazing how many patients are receptive to that. It's become to the point where it's not necessarily even a selling thing. Patients appreciate that. If they think that you're offering same-day treatment to them, it's not because we want the money. To them, it seems like, hey, we're here for you, we're providing a service, and if you want to do it right now, they seem to appreciate it. So it's little things like that I've changed as far as just my personal life, and also just dealing with patients, I think, has had the biggest impact for me. And the biggest thing, now in the past 4 months, I went from, like I said, averaging about $50,000 a month, so I'm averaging over $100,000 in production per month. Collections obviously is a little bit less than that, but I think over the last 3 months, my average collections is about $90,000. So it has made a huge impact, not only personally but financially. And a wonderful thing that I'm able to do, and my wife and I have been talking about for years, is she's put in a lot of work teaching, and she's been teaching for about 20 years now. And we've talked about her staying home, and it never was a possibility before. Just wasn't financially feasible. But we've been talking about it lately, and I think that next year she's going to be able. She's fortunate in her district. She's able to take a year leave of absence, and so what we're going to do is we're going to have her take a year leave of absence, and hopefully after that she can retire. There's other things she wants to do. I don't think she's going to be a stay-at-home mom, but she's wanted to get out of teaching for a little bit, and now I'm able to provide the opportunity for her to sort of pursue some other dreams that she's had. So to us, that's huge, and it's such a blessing and I feel so fortunate that I'm in a position where I'm able to offer that to her financially. That we're going to be okay. She can do something like that. And I give thanks to Harvey and Gregg, not only for hiring me, but for showing me the systems that we've had, that we've received from Gehring and other speakers, at the boot camps that I went to. A lot of thanks to the people that have talked about simple things like the two economy system or how you relate to patients. It's made a world of difference. So that's the biggest thing that I wanted to relate to you is financially we're doing so much better. And it's just gonna spill over into our personal lives. My wife can stop teaching, pursue some other dreams. What a difference that can make. So just wanted to relate that to you. I appreciate the time, down in Atlanta, and hopefully we'll be seeing you soon. Thank you so much.